Con. Hello there, all you hip cats and cool kittens. Don't you change that channel now, because it's time for the PopFoxShow, brought to you by Coca-Cola. And how's everybody doing today? I'm doing real swell. My name's Kichino Kitsune, and today we will be playing some more Genshin Impact. So without further ado, let's get rockin' and rollin', shall we? Aww. Now we finished our business. Aww. Alright, so I'm guessing that something disaster is going to happen soon.
Feels like you'll grow mold if you stay here long enough. But it's
Probably.
better than the Fortress of Meropide, that's for sure. It's not only damp there, but salty too.
I mean, it's the middle of the ocean.
So the two of you are still here. Wonderful.
Oh, Isadora.
Oh, you're from the Palais Mermonia,
Uh-oh.
aren't you?
We're in trouble.
Yes, I'm Isadora. Monsieur Nervillet sent me to look for you two before. I heard that afterward you went to the Fortress of Meropide.
So you're under the impression that we might be wanted criminals?
Not at all.
Oh, no.
I'm well aware that you're friends of his. Actually, I'm here to pass along a message from him.
Did he finally get the trap? Did something happen?
Yes, inside the Opera House. The Maréchaussée Phantom has declared the incident a small-scale riot.
What?
A riot?
Well, that said, I
A
don't
riot?
personally think it was that serious.
What are they going to do? Chop off Furina's head?
Furina was watching a performance at the Opera House, and while she was resting during an intermission, some other audience members suddenly started harassing her, loudly accusing her of doing nothing about the prophecy crisis. And before she could respond, others started to join in. The crowd continued to grow, and protests against the Hydro Archon started to break out.
So people have started to put the blame on Furina. Guess they finally found an outlet for the pressure they've been under due to the prophecy.
Oh,
I
God.
agree. People will naturally rely on gods, as is customary. But the moment people feel threatened,
she can't
gods
do
are
anything
also
about
the
it.
First to be blamed.
She can't do anything about it.
So what happened after that? Is Furina okay?
Seeing that the situation was spiraling out of control and that further argument was pointless, she claimed that she'd gotten tired of this and left in a hurry. The Maréchaussée Phantom had their hands full maintaining order and did not catch where Lady Furina had gone. Only when things had stabilized did we realize that she had gone missing.
So, you mean she's still missing?
That's right. The Maréchaussée has dispatched many people to search for her, but we don't have any leads yet.
Wow, shit.
That said, I don't think there's much to worry about. She is a god after all. Even if she were to fall into the hands of rioters, what could ordinary people do to her?
I understand the situation.
Monsieur Nervillet sent me to tell you about the situation, but he didn't say anything else.
So I'm guessing we're going to look for her.
Don't worry, this is more than enough to go on. Thanks for keeping us informed.
Alright.
Is that so? Well, alright then. In that case, you two take care. I'll be heading back to the Palais now.
That's where she lives, at the Palais Mermonia. Oh god, I like that smug look.
Sounds like we should hurry over to Poisson then.
You sure caught on quickly.
If we know Furina, she won't try to fix things in this situation. Instead, she'll look for a place to wait out the heat.
Oh god.
And as we also know, she may be loud and dramatic, but she doesn't have a heart of
Oh, loud and dramatic.
Talking to her in the Palais
That's
Mermonia,
understatement.
it would be hard for her to ignore being accused by the public today.
Oh yeah.
Paimon thinks Furina's probably taken the opportunity to slip away to Poisson and try to relieve the sense of guilt that she's feeling.
Sure.
Well, what do you think? Paimon knows the answer, of course, but Paimon can do the analysis to back it up, too. Cool, huh?
Looks like those detective novels have had an effect on you.
In case there's not a moment to lose. Poisson, here we come!
Yay, 2%!
This should be the place, right? Hey, Furina! There's a good hiding spot over here. Quick, come to Paimon before the rest of them catch up to you.
Yeah, Furina.
What is this place?
Hurry, they're almost here.
Fine. I suppose haste is warranted. Lead the way.
Alright, get the duct tape. Get the duct tape. We're going to interrogate you, lady. Okay, I don't care, lady. You need to be frank. Like, everyone's going to die if you do not do something. Okay, Furina, spill it.
Paimon's exhausted.
Shut up, Paimon.
I'm so tired. I totally thought they had caught me.
Why?
No, I mean, I merely gave in to the sheer enthusiasm they displayed.
Lower your voice.
You're right. Yep, that's a good girl.
Uh-oh.
What's happening? The ground's shaking. Is it an earthquake?
Another disaster just struck, I
Yeah.
suspect.
A quake of this kind preceded the flooding in
What? Shouldn't we get out of here?
Can't be. It's happening again.
Well, there's no need to worry too much about that. Novelette's made some emergency plans, so the evacuation should go a lot smoother this time.
Yeah, I hope you're right. But the people of Poisson, they've already...
Reached her limit. Now she's talking about her actual feelings. Come on.
It's true. I've been investigating the prophecy for hundreds of years. I once had informants all over Tevat, searching for clues and feeding information back to me. I've tried all kinds of ways, too, to hold back the sea. Anything to keep the coastline from advancing. But all my efforts proved to be futile in the end. Really, the truth has been clear to me for a very long time. We cannot make an enemy of the divine. No matter what we do, the will of the heavenly principles will have its way, and the prophecy shall be fulfilled.
You still haven't given up, right?
Give up. I do love the sound of that phrase. It would mean finally coming to terms with fate, but also for me to finally be free.
But that would also mean that all hope would
Indeed.
disappear.
I've thought about giving up so many times, especially after we almost lost Poisson. Fate is really unreasonable, isn't it? It has no heart and obeys no rules. The prophecy has only just started to come true, and so many people have already lost their lives.
You can't abandon the
Just
people.
now, it all became clear to me. I still don't have the right to come to terms with fate on behalf of everyone else.
See, that's the
As
Archon I
long as
know.
the final moment hasn't come, it's still not too late.
Now that's the words and mentality of a leader.
Don't worry. I will keep hope alive for everyone until the very end.
She hasn't ignored it, she
Well,
just doesn't have...
That's enough for now. I got the impulse to play the stricken maiden, but honestly, considering my rank and station, that wasn't a good fit at all. Don't take any of what I just said seriously. How could I possibly let Fontaine fall to the whims of trivial
Paimon,
prophecy?
burlap sack, now.
Come on! Paimon could have sworn you were actually being
Hey,
honest
Valerie.
just now.
Yeah, running out of time, we can't just go back to scoring like this. Furina, you might not have to shoulder this burden alone. Although I don't know what you might be keeping from everyone, you're more willing to share your burden.
That's impossible. It was fated right from the start that this would be my duty alone.
You can still choose to confide in someone. I guess, just share it with me. I'm what you would call a witness.
Yes, I've heard that you came to Tevat from beyond the stars, yes. In other words, you never belonged here.
Oh god, she's going to kill me.
And if Tevat is, in its entirety, a show on a stage, then you're just a spectator, aren't you?
In theory.
If that's the case...
No time left, please, Furina, just spit it out. Just spit it out, lady! Uh-oh. Huh? What the hell? What? What? Oh my god. That was...
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes my opening performance. Now, without further ado, we may proceed to the trial of our god.
Oh God.
So, this is what it is. Yes, you deserve praise for the effort you took to raise the dramatic stakes.
Oh God, they're going to mob her.
Do not forget, however, that I am Fosalor, the god of justice. The embodiment of justice itself.
Yeah, well, the people are about to...
Does it not strike you as even the least bit absurd to bring the very concept of justice to trial?
Yeah, well, the people are about to kill you, lady, if you don't confirm.
May I interpret these words as your refusal to stand trial? In that case, you will have the opportunity to defend your honor through a duel.
Oh God.
You would draw your blade against a god?
Yes. Chlorine.
I see. It seems like you have made up your mind.
Oh God.
Paimon can't believe it. She just surrendered.
The will of the people.
What the heck is going on? Did I just see an Archon surrender to a human?
Wow, how utterly humiliating.
Lady Furina, what is the meaning of this?
It would seem that there has been a misunderstanding. To be clear, the raising of both hands is not always an indication of surrender.
Looking for excuses again, huh?
I raised my hands just now to indicate my acceptance of the trial. No duel shall be necessary. I will admit that I've been running away.
Yeah, you need to tell the people.
Sorry, everyone. I was unable to protect the people of Poisson.
Yeah.
It is my duty to stand trial for my crimes. You are not the only ones to be disappointed in me. I, too, am exceedingly disappointed in myself.
Actually, that was...
But now, it is time for the Hydro Archon to show you her courage and resolve. I, Furina, will use this trial to show the world the true meaning of justice. This time, I will protect you. Applaud and rejoice. One of the most outrageous and fantastical arcs known to the opera epiclese is now unfolding before your eyes.
Someone get the...
Mark my words. This shall be one of the most exhilarating and brilliant shows ever to grace the stage of Fontaine. The trial of the Hydro Archon, Fosalor, will now begin!
You're a completely dotty lady.
Woohoo! Oh, now we're making history.
Oh my God, she's insane. Novelette.
Does it feel like Furina just took over the whole thing? Like, come on! Didn't she just get forced to stand trial for her crimes?
Well...
Also, even though she's still acting super dramatic, she is taking this seriously this time, right?
I hope so.
Then, who will be my opponent in this trial?
The people of Fontaine.
The court asks the prosecutor to please take the stand.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Is that so? Very well. Then please speak, witness of Tivat, my accuser and fated opponent.
So close getting her to tell the truth, and still turn out like this in the end. Okay, though, as long as we can defeat Furina Court, she'll still have a chance to figure everything out. Oh, she's going to the defendant's box for once. Oh.
Also, please allow me to ask, as a final question before the trial begins. Just how much work did you do to force me onto this stage?
A few bits and
A lot
bobbles.
of prep after the meeting that day.
Yeah.
I can go over the tasks assigned to the Spina di Rosula, since they were rather straightforward and easy.
Navia, the president of the Spina di Rosula.
Most of the people who participated in the disturbance this morning were my subordinates. They changed into plain clothes and came to the Opera House as regular audience members, waiting for the perfect opportunity to incite insurrection against you.
Oh, great.
People's resentment against their Archon has been building as more and more of the prophecy is fulfilled. A spark was all we needed to turn smoldering anger into a flame.
Oh.
Moreover, according to our understanding and analysis of you, When something like that occurred, you would likely flee the scene and head to Poisson by yourself.
Ooh.
So, we arranged for a second group to lie in wait there.
So, you mean the ones who scoured the settlement for me were also from the Spina?
And their goal was to force you to step into the giant magic box so you may personally participate in the greatest magic performance in all of Fontainian history.
That's right. That house was a magic box, rather than someone's residence.
As the super ultimate version of the setup that I used when I first performed at the Opera Epiclese, the volume of the box was increased by a whole order of magnitude, and the distance it traversed was the entire gap between Poisson and Areneas.
Oh, God.
Its cargo, of course, was an Archon instead of a human.
Oh, my.
My thanks, Furina. Without your help, we could never have pulled off such an extraordinary performance.
A house.
You're welcome.
Of course, this performance was only made possible with Father's support. The House of the Hearth spent a massive amount of labor in Mora to pull this off.
Oh, yeah, they had to pick up a house.
We had to select a location, construct the giant magic box, dig a tunnel, and open up a path through the water. It was a lot of work for all of us.
So, in other words, the earthquake that we felt within the giant magic box was just a normal tremor from the transportation of the whole house?
That's right. It wasn't a sign of another disaster to come.
Slicha. Sorry about
Then,
that.
I can guess Nervilette and Cloran's parts. You gathered a crowd, prepared a stage, and made sure that the champion duelist would be immediately ready for a fight.
Yes.
So that as soon as I appeared on the stage, the trial may commence without a hitch. Am I right?
Yes.
Yes, that is correct.
Well, Clorand, I must commend you for your courage. Only the most outstanding champion duelist in all of Fontaine would accept a duel with an Archon without flinching.
She drew her sword against you.
As for you, Traveler, I suppose your role was to keep me distracted with conversation once you found me in Poisson.
Yes.
You'd make sure that I didn't notice anything amiss before revealing yourself as my prosecutor once we'd arrived onto the stage.
You guessed wrong. My mission was to give you one last chance. We hope you share your secret with us.
Is that so? Then I suppose I must have missed my final chance. It's fine. It matters not. What's done is done. The stage is already set.
Yes.
So there's no reason to disappoint the audience.
Oh, yes.
Let's see this trial through to the very end.
You're on. Yeah. The only thing we can do now is to judge the Hydro Archon. Still, I can't help but feel a little bit out of the conversation earlier. What did Furina want to say to me right before we arrive on the stage?
Prosecutor, please allow me to pass this along.
This
This is a document that Miss Charlotte applied for and received permission to share with you during the trial. According to her, it should speed up the proceedings.
Huh? Charlotte wanted to give us something? Oh, so she's here too! Hey, Charlotte! Oh, let Paimon see. Isn't this the exclusive interview that she did with us before? So she's already finished it, huh? Wait, then that means this document is a perfect timeline of everything that's happened ever since we stepped foot in Fontaine!
Oh,
so
lovely.
In other words, we can refer to this anthology of evidence every time we want to use something from our journey as evidence for an argument!
Oh, it's a super practical gift.
Confirm the information in it. Just think of it as a refresher, alright?
Neato, Daddy-o.
You defeated the Hydro Archon in the very first duels you took part in at the Opera House. That's one for the history books, all right. I didn't think that you'd wind up getting to the bottom
serial
of the case
women.
I've been following all this time. This is the
Child's
first time
convicted.
Monsieur Nervilette had a
The meeting with the
harbinger.
knave.
She's an extraordinary person. Her instinct must mean something. The fortress of Meripede was almost destroyed.
The whale in the
Monsieur
dream.
Nervilette, both Child and that whale should have been. I nearly lost my awesome friend Navia.
Navia.
The words of
Tea
someone
time with
as
N.
extraordinary as a witch.
Oh, yes. All right,
The
Furina.
prosecution and the defense are both in position. The trial shall now begin.
Oh, come on, Nervilette. There's no need to repeat all the unimportant legalese. Just fast forward to the part where the prosecution lays out my offenses. As the defendant and the lead actress of this performance, I still haven't even been informed of my supposed guilt in all of this. Of course, it is only natural for humans to struggle to understand the actions of a god. However, you will need more than that to convict me of a crime.
Hey, Jeff.
That's true. But my charge here is unrelated to your conduct as an Archon.
Oh my god, he actually speaks?
Instead, I would like to charge you as a fraud who's never been the Archon in the first place.
Oh my.
Wait, what was that? Lady Furina's a fraud?
Lady Furina's a fraud?
I came here thinking that we were going to try the Hydro Archon for forsaking our duty, but...
Oh god, she's not the Hydro Archon?
Right? She's not our Archon at all?
Charge accepted.
Oh yes, where's your gnosis?
Lady Furina, do you plead guilty to the charge? Lady Furina.
I plead not guilty. How can I be guilty?
Yeah, how can you be guilty?
There is no way that I, Focalor, otherwise known as Furina de Fontaine, a member of the Seven and the Regina of all waters, kindreds, peoples, and laws of Fontaine, could be anything other than your true Archon.
Sure.
Even though Lady Furina can be rather eccentric, isn't it going too far to doubt her very identity?
I'm not so sure about that.
I've never questioned her identity either. Sure, Lady Furina can be super irresponsible, but what grounds does that prosecutor have to make such a huge claim?
Yep. Hi, Owl. Yep, just putting together all this for the episode tonight.
I have cause to believe that common sense will prevail in this case.
What?
Many of the members of the audience have known me as the Hydro Archon ever since they were born. There would be no fooling their memory.
Well, what if you were a body double?
Even the Oratrice has decided to show me its favor. Are you sure you want to commit to a charge that will never be upheld?
Sure, ma'am.
If you wish to drop the case, I can promise you as the god of justice that you will not have to face trial for making a false accusation. We will treat everything that's happened as a dramatic spectacle and move on with our lives. What do you say to that?
Huh. An argument with near impossible odds, huh? We have to not only refute Furina's claims, but also overturn the long-held beliefs of the people.
Maybe. Long-held belief?
I tried to give you the chance to surrender. If you must persist, then let me ask. If you believe I'm not the Archon, then what manner of being do you think I am?
That's simple. A puppet.
And if I was not the Archon, then how did I manage to live for over 500 years?
You're a puppet. What do we know to be special about Furina exactly? Why was child found guilty?
That doesn't sound right.
The meeting with the knave. The knave. The Fatui Harbinger.
You may be a member of another long-lived race, which would allow you to naturally possess an extended lifespan. And second of all, even if that wasn't the case, there could be other ways to extend your life.
Such as a curse.
Who gave you that idea? Was it the knave? You'd sink so low as to use a harbinger's words against me.
Oh, what matters is the veracity of the claim.
I once thought it possible that the aura of an Archon might naturally resemble a type of curse.
Ooh.
But in light of this claim, perhaps what I sensed was not your divinity, but a curse after all.
You sensed it too, huh, Nervalet?
So Furina, instead of being an Archon, could just be a cursed human?
Furina is actually a human?
That's why you can be killed.
Well, it is true that it's extremely difficult to tell humans and gods apart just by looking at them. It's not impossible.
That's why you beg the knave not to kill you. Oh.
Well, don't start celebrating too early now. Even if I have been carrying a curse like you said, how does that prove that I am merely a human being?
Alright, good night.
Besides, everyone knows that the main difference between a human and a god is the possession of authority. Gods can do what humans cannot. That's why they're worshipped as gods.
Huh.
For centuries, manifestations of my authority have served the nation of Fontaine. One
Interesting.
need only to turn their eyes towards the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal in this very opera house, or consider the indemnitium that is used in every aspect of life.
In lieu of steam powder. That one trial proved the opposite. Furina actually has no control over the Oratrice. You don't know anything about the Oratrice. How can it deliver judgment?
To reference the Oratrice. But weren't you as confused as all the rest of us when the Oratrice declared child to be guilty without any proof?
Yes.
Otherwise, you should have come up with a good explanation for that by now.
Yes.
Didn't I make myself clear at the time? The decisions of the gods are naturally difficult for humans to comprehend. There is no need to provide an explanation.
Alright, then spill it, lady.
Lady
Explain it.
I believe a reminder of your current circumstances is in order. While the court is in session, the principles of justice and the law must come before all else. While you are an Archon, you are also first and foremost the defendant in this trial. You will prove yourself unable to defend against the prosecution's charges if you continue to withhold vital information against the rules of the court.
Ooh, I like that.
I never thought you'd use that kind of rhetoric against me.
That was no trick of rhetoric, Lady Furina.
Oh, yes.
I've merely reiterated the rules of the court. Rules that all should respect and follow.
Explain.
So, you neither knew why child was declared guilty,
Yeah.
nor did you understand the structure and operations of the Oratrice.
No.
Instead of having been created by you, the manifestations of authority you mentioned have been made by the real Hydro Archon, haven't they?
Yes.
The real Hydro Archon. Well, now you're really losing me. It
Yes.
is true that I did not know why the Oratrice gave out a guilty verdict that day. But the Oratrice handed out that verdict unilaterally. And it has been operating independently.
No, it's a
ever since
machine.
it was first
It's a
created.
mechanical jury, lady.
You can't argue that just because a divine creation is flawed, that the god behind it must also be no god at all.
Really?
She's still throwing out all kinds of excuses. Seems like she's confident that we won't be able to produce proof that she has no power over the Oratrice.
But then, Miss Furina, could you give us a brief demonstration of your power as an Archon?
My power as an Archon. There are many ordinary citizens in the audience. How can I just carelessly demonstrate the formidable power of an Archon?
Duel me.
If that poses a concern, I'm prepared to extend my protection to the audience.
You don't need to go that far.
Surely, an Archon can at least match the vision capacities of a human with a vision.
Aren't you the Hydro Archon? Or is it that you can't even wield the power of Hydro, much less the authority of a god?
Indemnitium! Yes! It's all because of Indemnitium! All Archons derive their power from the faith of the people, and I've converted the people's faith in justice into Indemnitium. Thus did I give up all of my divine power to provide everyone with energy for their daily lives. Have you ever seen a more magnanimous god?
Oh my god.
Isn't that a huge stretch?
Yeah, no matter how generous an Archon can be, how could they give up all their power? Can a god with no power even still be called a god?
Oh.
It seems like nobody's buying Furina's excuse.
Hey, come now, everyone. Please don't stare at me as if I was a liar. I'm still the same Furina you knew, right? The one that you loved. Shouldn't you want to believe in me? Please? You've got to believe me.
If what the prosecutor said is true, she really has committed a grave offense.
To the guillotine!
Deceive all of us? And all of our parents and grandparents too? And all of our ancestors? Ever since they were born?
Enough! That's enough. Tell me then, if I'm not the real Hydro Archon, then who is? If you have no evidence of another Hydro Archon's existence, nor can you find anyone who can back up their claim to be such, then what grounds have you to say that I'm not actually the real deal?
Wow, she came up with yet another argument. How can we refute her now?
See, that is a good point, Furina.
She really doesn't want to give
There
up.
is no other Hydro Archon. Huh?
It has been established that all Fontainians can dissolve in water from the primordial sea. And that means...
Since you insist on claiming to be a god and not a human, then there's a method that you can use right here and now to eliminate all suspicions of you being the latter.
Miss Navia, please apply to serve as a temporary attorney for the prosecution before addressing the court.
Oh, Neverlet.
In partnership with the prosecutor, you must still adhere to proper procedure.
Super sorry, Monsieur Chief Justice. I swear this really will be the last time that I'll speak out of turn.
Go Thorin content.
I've brought some seawater from Poisson. As everyone knows, a massive flood struck the area not long ago, taking many lives, including those of some of my closest friends. So, Miss Furina, would you dare to touch some of this seawater? If we are to believe that you are indeed the real Hydro Archon,
She's wearing
touching
gloves,
the
though.
Seawater would have no effect on you. All it should do is strengthen your case. But if you don't dare to touch it, then we would have basically proved the reverse. Oh, and I must remind you that after the disaster at Poisson, nobody wants to see any more people dissolve. I do hope you'll act prudently and choose the simpler path of admitting guilt.
Navia from the Spina di Rasula.
Yes.
The Spina has governed Poisson for many years.
Yeah.
I guess her suggestion is valid.
If
It
Lady
is.
Furina is indeed just a human, she's probably Fontainian like all the rest of us. Would she really dare to try?
Oh god.
Lady
Furina.
Furina, this test has been unilaterally proposed by the prosecution. As it falls outside the realm of standard court proceedings, you possess the right to decline participation.
Well, of course he had to tell her that. But refusing to participate is
No,
basically
no,
a
wait, no, 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 no.
guilt.
She's just staring at the water without saying a single word. It really does seem like she's quite terrified of it. That could only mean...
What's going on? Is she really planning to... That's not what we thought she would...
Due to the inherent risk of the test, Lady Furina, you may...
Hey!
She actually...
I'm fine! Look at me, everyone! My hand is still here! I haven't been dissolved! Will you believe me now? I really am your Archon! I'm nothing like a normal human who would...
No, you're not a human. You're a poopet.
Really? Was this not the most obvious thing in the world?
Miss Siegewing? If you're present, Miss Siegewing, please come forward and attend to the defendant.
Siege, don't be nervous. It'll just take a few seconds. Let me see. That should be enough.
Please announce the results of your evaluation to the court, Miss Siegewing.
As everyone doubtlessly saw, Miss Furina was displaying she was experiencing the adverse effects of exposure to primordial seawater. The extent to which she was affected is the same as other humans when exposed to primordial seawater of a similar concentration.
Thank you, Miss Siegewing. Lady Furina, you may return to
So
the
she's
defendant's
human.
stand.
Oh, wait. What did she just say? I didn't get dissolved. Shouldn't that be enough to prove my innocence?
No, but it is in a low concentration.
Well, considering your tendency to run from your problems, we did originally prepare a direct sample of the seawater around Poisson. However, after extensive discussion, we exchanged it for a sample that is not concentrated enough to dissolve an actual human. After all, on the off chance that something entirely unexpected might occur, We don't want anyone else to lose their life to the sea.
Yeah, so out of regard for Furina's life, you secured a low-concentration sample and asked the head nurse to serve as an expert witness. It's a great thing that the direct sample wasn't actually used. Furina could have...
I can't believe... You...
What's really going on here? Furina can't have not known the consequence of touching water as a human. This is more important to keep up a facade. She's given up on everything along...
Listen to me, everyone. Please don't give me such cold and disdainful looks.
You're guilty, lady.
Just now didn't prove a single thing.
Oh, it's just proving me that you're guilty.
How can you conclusively prove that an Archon can't also be affected by the primordial seawater?
Oh no.
Also, if I was really just a human, why would I dare to just put my hand in that kind of water?
To keep up your facade. That facade is better. You
Please,
lose all your...
Anyone, just listen to me. I swear, I really am your Archon.
No, you're not. You're a phony. What are you, Furina? What are you?
I don't think anything she says at this point will sway anyone. The odds are just too stacked against her now.
All right, lady.
All the things that have been said, Paimon doesn't think there's any way left for Furina to win.
I believe the time for argument and presentation of evidence has come to an end. If there are no objections, we will move on to the final judgment.
I don't think anything she says at this point will sway anyone.
Oh god, she's going to do something irrational and judge and rash, isn't she? Oh god. She snapped. She snapped.
In my capacity as Chief Justice, I shall now render judgment on Furina's misrepresentation of herself as the Archon of Fontaine. As a human who knowingly deceived her fellow citizens, Furina is... guilty.
Oh god, she snapped like Yandere-chan. Guilty.
We shall now turn to the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale to render the final verdict on the chart.
Oh god. Oh god. The Fontainian Revolution. The people have revolted.
According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale, Furina is...
Well, what's wrong? What's the Oratrice's verdict?
Did the Oratrice just declare Furina to be innocent?
The Oratrice also displays a guilty verdict.
Isn't that correct?
However, the exact wording of the verdict is thus. The Hydro Archon, guilty to be punished via the death sentence.
Oh, what?
Test the guillotine! Holy shit!
The death sentence?
What? They're going to chop off her head.
The available sentences?
What?
I've always thought that it was
The Hydro Archon?
The one and only time the death sentence has been handed out at the court. And it's been given to the very person we've worshipped as the god of justice? What an unexpected twist.
But it called her the...
Sentenced to death by the Oratrice? We just wanted to use the trial to show her the seriousness of things so she'd tell us the truth. How did things escalate this quickly?
This outcome is indeed quite strange. According to Fontaine's current definitions of justice, as well as its recommendations for criminal sentences, is this sentence really appropriate for the crimes that have been committed?
Yeah, even Fache wasn't sentenced to death by the Oratrice. You know, the real evil mastermind behind the serial disappearances case.
Instead of Furina, the Oratrice rendered judgment on the Hydro Archon.
Not only is Furina's sentence overly excessive, the very point of our trial today was also to prove that Furina has never been the Hydro Archon in the first place.
But she is the Hydro Archon.
The Oratrice seems to have deliberately invoked the title of the Hydro Archon. What does this mean?
What's happening with the oratories?
Uh-oh.
I believe it is preparing to carry out the death sentence.
What?
Furina!
Furina, run!
No, I still need answers.
Oh my god. What? What? Oh god, there's floating couches. That's the original Hydro Archon, right? The Furina of the past, right?
You.
Sorry. That shocked expression on your face is just too amusing. I couldn't help myself.
That's not Furina.
Not Furina. Who are you?
Ah, the sweet sound of bewilderment. Marvelous. A sure sign that my attempt to deceive everyone was a resounding success. But to answer your question, I am Focalor. You know, the god.
Focalor? Why did you deceive us?
Oh, that wasn't my goal, of course. Goodness, no. But I had to fool everyone else too, if I was to stand any chance of deceiving the heavenly principles.
Deceiving the heavenly principles?
It's all because of that pernicious prophecy. Dreadful, wasn't it? Everyone doomed to dissolve. Fontaine condemned to be flooded. One was not amused. In fact, one was positively bemused when that problem was thrust upon me by my dearest predecessor. That's the former Hydro Archon Egeria for the uninitiated. It hardly gets more disastrous than a preordained national catastrophe, now does it? She knew full well that the prophecy would surely come to pass. And as one of the seven, she also knew full well that one defies the heavenly principles at one's peril. So yes, as you have no doubt surmised, it was a rather impossible situation that I found myself in. I spent a terribly long time mulling it over, alone on the ocean floor. And I was almost growing barnacles by the time I finally realized there was only one possible solution to this confounding conundrum. I had to outwit the heavenly principles, allow the prophecy to be fulfilled, ostensibly at least, while saving everyone at the same time. I'm a genius, I know. I can only assume that's why Egeria chose me as her successor. Although, looking back now, it was hardly the inheritance one dreams of. Between the task of saving the nation, the quotidian duties of the Hydro Archon, and not to mention the original sin of creating a new race of humans, I dare say she left me quite a colossal mess to clean up.
So...
But one can only play the hand one is dealt. I did not choose this, any more than I chose to be one of her Oceanid familiars.
So you were also once one of the Oceanids, transformed into a human by Egeria's hand?
Yes, I was. I always dreamed of becoming human. And I still do, even now. In my eyes, to be human is to be part of the greatest opera ever known. After becoming a god, I separated my divinity from my body and spirit, leaving behind only a self that was as naive and bewildered as my past self on her first day as a human being. The me you see before you now is that divinity. And the human counterpart I left behind, I named Furina. She could feel joy, sorrow, and everything in between. She could be as vain and conceited, or as meek and vulnerable as she wished. Her strengths were of a kind only a human could possess, as were her shortcomings. But in my eyes, Furina's humanity was what made her perfect. She was perfectly human in every way. The person I always wanted to be.
Isn't she dead?
Anyway, so all part of the plan, of course. The plan to deceive the heavenly principles. Do you still remember the final scene of the prophecy? The Hydro Archon alone, weeping on her throne. In order that the prophecy might appear fulfilled, I invited Furina to be an actress, to play the part of the Hydro Archon in the prophecy. Under the curse I placed on her, so long as I, Focalor's divinity, continued to exist, she could not die. But nor was she free to live her life in the pursuit of happiness.
Why?
Instead, she was forced to take the stage in the opera house, to embrace the role of leading lady, to forever play the part of the god from the prophecy, all to create a deceitful appearance of that prophecy coming to pass.
Why?
I suppose now you probably understand why your court is called the Opera Epiclese.
But Furina is only... Even though she has had a long life, her mind is no stronger than that of any other ordinary human being. I cannot begin to fathom what she has had to endure. It must have been torture for her.
It has indeed. And although she is, in a sense, me in human form, I most definitely owe her an apology for it. It's been and all along, she's been playing her part in the most unimaginably long, unbearably lonely, and agonizingly painful opera of all time.
So even Furina doesn't know the truth? You've never once let her in on the full plan?
Yes, it had to be done. To deceive the heavenly principles, you must first deceive yourself. She did very well. If she had let her resolve falter even once in these 5 centuries, Fontaine would have been doomed to the most tragic fate. It seems that trusting humanity was the right decision after all.
I believe that I understand how your deception works, but that is only half the truth, is it not? How would you build on this foundation to save the people of Fontaine?
How would you?
That is the most important thing.
Ah, good, good. Of course, the Isekai of Fontaine has pinpointed the crux of the issue. I'm sure you've long sensed that the Oratrice is no simple machine, yes?
I've always suspected that it had its own consciousness. And Linny did mention that he heard a human voice within the core chamber. It now seems that that person was you, hidden within the machine all along. Am I right?
And then I became one with the Oratrice, taking Fontaine's gnosis with me.
Oh my.
Yes, it would seem so, wouldn't it?
So the gnosis is in the machine.
Your understanding of this device still lacks sufficient depth. In truth, it is no enactor of justice. It is, in fact, a device created to kill the god of justice.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, you have it. And to be more precise, not only will the Oratrice take down the god of justice, it will also take down the divine throne upon which she has been placed. I mean, did you think I would be the sort to enjoy peaceful repose while Furina suffered? My work over these last 500 years has been to constantly accumulate indemnitium within the Oratrice. But really, some have already discovered that only a small fraction of the energy generated by the device was ever used to provide power to Fontaine. The vast majority had to be accumulated to enact this death sentence.
It was all a part of your plan then? Both the trial and the sentence?
Indeed. This power, accrued over 5 centuries, could have sustained Fontainians for millennia had it only been used for that purpose. almost all of it has now been stored within the oratories. But only
What?
power of this magnitude could hope to destroy the Hydro Archon's divine throne, shaking the rules established by Celestia and breaking through
What?
the institution that is the Seven.
Oh
so
my
the
god.
Oratrice's call for death was for neither Furina nor Focalor, but for the Hydro Archon.
What does that mean?
The destruction of that divine throne.
Returning what's rightfully yours to you, of course. In other words, this was all done to return the authority of the Hydro Archon to the Hydro Dragon of this planet.
But...
Novelet, you'll get your power back.
Oh, what? Getting sad again, are we? The authority of the ancient dragons shall soon be yours once more, O Hydro Dragon Sovereign. And this is the face you make.
Why?
All you've done throughout the years is just so you can sacrifice yourself at the very end.
I've never quite seen it that way, you know. Even now,
Why?
I'm quite pleased at how well my deception worked.
Why would you do this?
Hydro Dragon, don't cry. I must say, had it been within my rights, I would have loved to judge the heavenly principles themselves. Were they not guilty of essentially the same crime? Egeria stole the power of the primordial sea, and the heavenly principles stole the power you ancient dragons possessed. I, for my part, am the god of justice. And is it not just that your original powers should be returned to you?
Probably.
Speaking of justice, I have always believed that justice lies in the process of pursuing human existence itself. So, if the theft of the primordial sea's might was Fontaine's original sin, then, leaving matters of procedural right and wrong aside, the descent of the Fontainians as humans and their right to exist in this world would be Fontaine's original justice. In other words, existence was Egeria's justice, and to me, justice is the continuation of that existence.
So what happens to Furina?
Defying the prophecy and ensuring that Fontaine's people shall live on. That should be the justice enthroned over all others.
So what happens to Furina?
At this point, we, whether it be myself or all other Fontainians, have shouldered the burden of this sin for far too long.
So what are you going to do?
Iudex Neuvillette, the highest judge in our land. When you regain your full power as an elemental sovereign, what verdict shall you pass upon us?
So when I was invited to the court of Fontaine to serve as Iudex, I see now that that was your idea too. At last. I now understand the true purpose behind this position.
What's going to happen?
I was uninterested in human existence. But these 5 centuries of living alongside them have gradually brought about mutual understanding between us. And I have even attempted to feel as they feel. You are a devious one, Focalor. Things being as they are. Surely you know that I could never declare them to be guilty.
They're not guilty.
The hour of my execution is almost here. For the sinner, the curtain call has come. I know I may not sound it, but faced with death, I find myself a little afraid. Perhaps this is one thing both gods and humans have in common. Farewell, Neuvillette. I hope you've enjoyed the part you played these 500 years.
Just like the guillotine. Thank you, Furina, for all you have done. From this moment on, please live happily as a human, just as I wished we could.
Ex Nouvellette, hereby declare, people of Fontaine, your sins are forgiven.
The rain stopped. What does this mean for Fontaine, though? What's going to happen? What's going to happen with all of them?
What just happened? Has the death sentence been carried out?
Was that bright light some sort of misdirection? I have a feeling that something huge just happened.
But since we're all still alive and haven't been dissolved, I assume whatever happened was good for us.
Probably.
It's time to end this. We must mete out punishment to that beast.
Wait! Didn't you say just a moment ago that it can't be defeated?
I have gained the strength sufficient to deal with it. Through certain means, I now have the ability to separate the power of the Primordial Sea from that creature.
Oh, neat.
We should seize the opportunity to pursue our quarry.
You obtained power?
Now that the oratories can no longer function, I require an executor to help me mete out justice.
You mean me?
The root of the calamities befalling Fontaine. The beast that enacts the prophecy. Its name is the all-devouring narwhal.
Narwhal?
Narwhal swimming in the ocean, causing a commotion.
Oh dear.
Come with me, traveler. The hour of execution has come.
Oh. But it's a whale. What the hell is this?
We're going to execute it? But how are we going to do that? It's huge!
I have already done my best to separate the power of the Primordial Sea from the whale. Considering the size of the beast, I cannot reach the power source. Unless we can find a way to attack it from within.
Go, run, run, run.
Part of the ancient dragon's power with you. We shall look for an opening together.
Step right up.
Ah, fuck. Oh god. Oh god.
I can feel its sorrow turning into hostility.
Oh fuck. Run, run, run. Run, run. Destroy the eye of the...
The all-devouring narwhal cannot resist its instinct to devour. Continue to trigger its hostility. Chance will present itself.
Oh god. Keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. Keep moving. Oh god. What the hell is this?
Why is there a hole-looking thingy over there? It looks really scary.
Chip on up. I'm going in.
I have granted you my protection. Do not fear. Seize the moment and use my power to suppress its roots from within.
All right.
And voila!
Bag. B for Bag Chan. B for Bag Chan.
Manifest the authority of the ancient dragons. Witness the might of the primordial sea.
Step right.
Trip on up.
Teamwork is strict.
Quick, drop the curtains.
Let's light it up.
Trip on up.
Get back.
Go, 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 go. Come on, Razor.
Let's light up. Off we go.
Let the magic.
Why do they never miss?
Oh god. Where's Bag Chan when you need him?
Now disappear.
Let's light it up. I'm going in.
All in it.
Damn it.
Stay calm.
Let's light it up.
What? What the hell happened? Novelette? Huh? That's the unknown god. That's the unknown god. Wait, what? Wait, what? What? You.
Thanks for helping with the cleanup. Should have been my job, but I guess I'll take it.
Thanks for helping with the cleanup. Should have been my job, but I guess I'll take it.
Should have been my job, but I guess I'll take it. Should have been my job, but I guess I'll take it. Should have been my job, but I guess I'll take it. Should have been my job, but I guess I'll take it. Should have been my job, but I guess I'll take it. Should have been my job, but I guess I'll take it. Should have been my job, but I guess I'll take it. Should have been my job, but I guess I'll take it. Should have been my job, but I guess I'll take it. Should have been my job, but I guess I'll take it. Should have been my job, but I guess I'll take it. Should have been my job, but I guess I'll take it. Should have been my job, but I guess I'll take it. Should have been my job, but I guess I'll take it. Should have been my job, but I guess
Oh well.
You're...
It was just supposed to be a short private training session for me. I didn't think that my disciple and my master's pet would start brawling in the meantime.
What?
Well,
Who the hell are you?
I had a feeling that it would happen at some point, but they bumped into one another earlier than I thought. What a blunder. I suppose I'll have to swing.
What? The master's pet? What?
Who are you exactly?
Yeah, who are you?
Hyman has an idea. From what she said earlier, she must be Child's master. Skirk, right?
Skirk?
It was the impression that she was the less...
You're Skirk?
I simply did not have anything to say to the weak. But you, on the other hand, managed to defeat the all-devouring narwhal.
Who are you?
Using power from beyond this world.
Who are
So
you?
you may speak to me as equals.
Would take... What? Why would someone keep that as a pet?
Use of a planet's primordial waters just to raise an all-devouring narwhal.
What? Who's your master?
Power is wasted on it. It's not cooperative. It eats too much. And I have more important things to do with my time than pet sitting. The only thing that creature has going for it is its looks.
What?
All in all,
why?
It fails as a pet.
What?
Miss Skirk? I think you might have missed the point.
The point?
Well, being that this pet almost destroyed an entire nation.
Yeah.
So what sort of person is your master? Well, Child's master's master.
Oh, right. So you don't know him. Sorry, I assumed you did.
Who is it?
His name is Sertologi.
Who?
I am unfamiliar with that name.
Huh. So Master is insufficiently famous. How should I describe him then? Have you heard of the name The Fowl?
The Fowl?
The Fowl?
Still nothing? Well, how about the Visionary? Vetterfulnir then? Or Gold Rhine-daughter?
No.
That one we've heard. Rhine-daughter's part of the Hexen Circle. She's Albedo's mom, right?
Albedo's mom?
So you do know that name. To be honest, I also heard all of those names and titles from my master. I don't know, but I suppose you understand now.
What?
Yes? My master is likely a similar sort to Rhine-daughter. They're both pursuing some form of perfection.
Then who are you, and why are you living here?
Also mention a visionary person? Hyman didn't quite catch their name.
Actually, never mind that. I believe it expedient to inform you.
What?
The all-devouring narwhal used up nearly all its strength fighting you. Such roiling hydro energies will prove difficult for the planet's deep seas to digest. As such, the Fontaine back on the surface has most likely been thrown into chaos.
What?
In other words, the prophecy that you've been fretting over should now be in full swing.
What?
There's little to be surprised about. However...
Not to worry. Focalor has already managed to deceive the heavenly principles.
How?
In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only Furina will remain, weeping on her throne.
What? But...
Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away.
So Fontaine is underwater now? What? What? What?
Hey! Help! Over here!
What? Fontaine flooded? But why aren't people dissolving? Why aren't the people dissolving? Oh my god, it's a giant ship.
All hands, initiate emergency rescue!
A giant steampunk ship.
Hurry!
people aren't dissolving.
Hey, lend a hand!
Fontaine is under... But they're all under the water.
Look, the water's receding.
No one's dissolving, though.
It's a miracle!
Water's receding.
We didn't dissolve. The prophecy was wrong. The prophecy was wrong.
Well, Fontaine's in ruins, but the people are okay.
Prophecy was wrong.
You saved us, Furina. You did your part. And Fontaine is safe. Special thank you to you for watching, and if you like this channel and you like this type of content, please be sure to like, follow, comment, and subscribe, and be sure to tell your friends all about us here at the PopFox Show. And thank each and every one of you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow for another exciting episode. So bye for now, and the kissing out.